Good morning, everybody. Another day's journey, and I'm so glad. I want to personally thank each and every one of you for those of you who participated on yesterday in the celebration and the appreciation of two pillars of virtue, two people I love very dearly and much in the form of Lady Womack, Lady Antoinette Womack-El, and Dr. Joan Womack. Again, thank you all for your participation. It was a great success, and I thank each and every one of you for your the tributes, nice comments, the gifts, and most of all, just your presence, your attendance meant so much. I'm sure to them as well as me. I thank God for my mom, who has actually been there by my side, but being a creator, being a founder of the ministry, Christian Bible Center, Temple Radiant Light, Christian Bible Institute, and Seminary, and so many other uh, facets of the ministry that she has played a great part. And also, Lady Antoinette, uh, just being a blessing to the ministry in my life as well. And one thing I want you to understand, this is where a lot of people get messed up in relationships. Starting with myself, I'm not perfect. Neither is my mom perfect. Neither is my wife perfect. But in our imperfection, we know who is perfect, and that's Christ. And that's what causes us even to get work done and do some things together, even in our disagreements. You'd be surprised of how me and my mom, there's things that we don't agree on. Like I have a total different perception of something or insight concerning something, and she might have something as well. Some of you might have seen yesterday when I was actually picking and choosing her foods, what she should eat, what she should not eat. And of course, she wanted to eat something that I knew wouldn't be good for her. Uh, so that so we have a disagreement and things like that. And if and she might not like it, no, you can't eat that. No, I don't want you with that. And she might not like it, but if she really knows me, what she does, she's like, you know what? He's just looking out for me. He wants what is the best for me. And a lot of times when people have disagreements, if you notice my subject title, we waste a lot of time as people. I believe most people's life, especially when they become adults, when you're a child, it's different because you're free going, free flowing. And as a child, depending on what kind of parents you have, but most of the time, even if you got bad parents, you're usually following a directive or an instruction as a child. And if you want the benefit of that household, such as the benefit of a bath, the benefit of a supper, the benefit of being in a nice in a nice bed, a house, you are going to have to follow, whether you like it or not, whether you agree with it or not. As a child, you got to follow the instruction. And if you do your homework, this is what I was taught as a child. I'll take you to Palisades Park. Anybody remember Palisades Park in New Jersey? I'll take you to Wildwood. I'll take you to Great Adventure. We'll have that family picnic. I'll buy you those new pairs of shoes. But you got to do your homework first. You need to get an A. You need to make sure you clean up outside. Get the leaves out. Get the garbage outside. All right. Make up your bed, and I'll go ahead and give you money to go to that show. You follow some type of directive, some type of instruction or plan in order to get the reward. Now, what has happened as we became adults, we convince ourselves we don't have to listen no more. And we do really good in that as adults. I don't need no, I'm grown now. I'm gonna do what I want to do. And the truth is, that's not even true. Because if you are an employee, you are listening to the employer. And they have you employed based on the ployed, based on what they need you to do, which means you're still, in order to get the reward of the paycheck, in order to get the reward of the bonus, in order to get the reward of the raise, because nobody's going to give you a raise just because you ask and you have not followed their directive or instruction. You have to adhere to what they need or what they desire of you, or you have no job. You no longer will be an employee. Are you getting this? So, God has a plan. And if we want the paycheck, we want the rewards, we want the benefits of what God actually has sanctioned for us, we have to follow His plan, His directives, His divine instructions. And the scripture says, in all your ways, acknowledge Him, and He will direct your path. Good morning. In all your ways. So even in your ways, your time, your schedule, your calendar, He says, in all your ways, in all of your ideology, in all of your concepts, in all of your ways, whether it's from how you eat, how you work, or how you worship. He said, in all your ways, I want you to acknowledge me and listen. I'm going to give you the instructions and I'm going to direct your path. I'm going to direct your path. So when you do that, the pleasure, the rewards, good morning, the pleasure, the rewards, the benefits are not from your concepts. It's from following His directions. But again, as adults, and the older you get more stuck in things that don't work for you. And you justify what doesn't work for you. And guess what? It stays. Something that doesn't work for you, you convince it. Like you know a certain way of eating doesn't work for you. But you keep doing it. You know a certain way that you've been doing your money, not budgeting, not accounting, not keeping records. You have no system. You just do it. You get up in the morning. cash a check, and you just repeat that stuff week after week, month after month, and you complain about how you don't like what you see. And what you see is just your practice of what you do. Anybody getting this? Insanity is repetition and steroids. Insanity is repeating and repeating, but expecting different results because it's repetition in steroids that you're not satisfied, but yet you have expectation that something's going to be different. And so we get to this thing called wasting time. I was saying this to my wife earlier. Most of your pain, I'll say 95% of your pain points, is historical. It's something from your history, it's something that you saw, and it's something that you continue to practice. So it's become the pain points of your life. And those pain points are maybe excessive weight, maybe excessive want, and excessive worship. And I'm not talking about worship God. I'm talking about you continue to embrace something and worshiping something such as procrastination, lateness, squandering time. That's worship. Bishop, how can you say that's worship? I don't sing a song to it. Singing a song is not worship. Worship is what you embrace. I'll say that again. Worship is what you embrace. That which you tolerate, you worship. If you tolerate, I want you to hear me, you know pornography, you know porno. You know porno is wrong in your spirit, right? Yet you justify it in your mind. Well, I need a release, or I need, I need to get this off, right? Yet you know that it is wrong. So your worship says, in order to keep it around, you have to justify why it's okay to do it in some situations and circumstances, such as smoking cigarettes causes cancer. But I need to do this because it helps me with stress. So because you say it helps me with stress, you have just worshiped the cigarette. I'm going to embrace you because there is a justification, even though I know you have killed millions, I have to embrace you through worship. And the only way I can embrace you, I have to justify why it's okay at certain times to take a cancer stick and to fill my lungs up with nicotine. So anything you embrace, it's a form of worship. Are you getting this? See, some will say, I'm bad with money because my mother was bad with money. So you justify why you have to be bad. See, my family is big bone, so I'm gonna be big bone, which is an excuse of why you overweight. My family ate crap, so I got to eat crap. That's the way I was brought up. When everybody creates their own path, but we follow the path of least resistance, the path that's been already carved out for us, not by God, not by God's design, but that of familiar spirits. So what we do in life is that we squander this currency called time. Actually, it's the only currency you ever have. And before September 17th, you need to make a major shift. September 17th, Spirit gave me that. Why the 17th? Well, on the 22nd, we're moving into a new season, which is autumn for some. September the 22nd will be autumn for some. Then you might say, well, it's going to be autumn for everybody in the United States. No. For some, it will be September the 22nd is going to be autumn. But for many, September the 22nd is going to be the fall. Now, the 17th is going to be the full moon. And you want to actually start moving into these seasons with a godly consciousness and really be transformed. And I really want you to look at yourself and be honest with yourself. Where am I wasting time? And if I'm wasting time, could I be wasting also the most precious thing of time called life? Where am I wasting time? Am I in conversations that I know I don't even want answers, but I just feel so much better by just beating my moments up with wasting my time? So I get into this emotional inoculation of talking because it's another way of like a drug of having me to escape what I really need to be doing called changing. And a lot of you, you did that on a subconscious and a uh, on a subatomic level, and also on a subcellular level. That you actually get into this pathology. It's a conscious pathological practice. I would say that a conscious pathological practice to cover yourself for the sins that you constantly commit, which is called missing the mark. Something that you know you need to do, something that you know you need to change, but let's make up reasoning for it. Let's make up excuses because it's easier, we think, to make up excuse or to compromise versus to transform. And that's not true because you're going to pay for it. Every time you make an excuse for something that you can actually do, you're actually training yourself to limit yourself, but there's going to be a consequence that actually follows. And the consequence is really worse than going through the passage of transformation. The passage of transformation is really, it, it can be a strain because it's a change, but it's not going to last. But we make it last through delay. And we as humans, we waste so much valuable time in this subject called reasoning. I want y'all to write that down. We reason almost everything. Da 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 da. And this is the reason. Da 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 da. and this is the reason. Da 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 da, and this is the reason. And the reason why I can't do is because this reason, and that's this the reason. And what you need to do is say to yourself, "Shut up. I don't live for reasons. I live for results." Somebody type that in the chat. I'm not here for reasons. I'm here for results. But we've convinced ourselves and made the reason more important than the result. And every time we're reasoning and reasoning and reasoning and reasoning, we're wasting and we're wasting and we're wasting and we're wasting precious time. And that is the only true commodity you really have. That is the only true currency that you have, is that of time. And here's the sad thing about it. Once you waste time, you can't get it back. Money, you can get back. A marriage, you can get back. A job, you can get back. You can even get another. But once you waste time, you're never going to see 10 years back again. You're never going to see 20 years back again. You're not going to get that again. Are y'all hearing me? Now, that sounds depressing if it wasn't for the word. Now, what you can do is redeem the time. And there is a major difference in redeeming the time. You can actually start creating more quality time and start leveling up more quality and heighten more time and have greater capacity of quality of time when you redeem the time, where you forget about what you lost because you got so much better that's ahead of you. One of the things I'm going to be speaking about, if the Lord wants me to, because He gave me this, because I was like, and you could even waste your time with this. I was like, Lord, what do you do when the people you really love, they leave your life? Now, you could take a whole bunch of your life and waste it just thinking about that, and it becomes an emotional upheaval. It could be really depressing when there are people that you really love, people that you really care about, people that you really concerned about, and you really love them. Because think about it, how many of you've had people in your life, some are relatives, some are have been partners, maybe business partners, maybe church members, maybe clients, maybe students, and you love them, but they just leave your life abruptly. They just leave your life. And you can get into a stupor and you can get stuck of, man, what went boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, employee, employer. And you're like, man, I really loved them. I admired them. We had, it seemed like we had a good relationship, and they just left my life. Now you can go over that over and over in your head, and it could be so depressing. And you go, and you got 1 year passed by because you stuck in that. I don't understand what went wrong between me and my man, or me and my husband, me and my wife, or me and my employer, or me and my pastor. And you just go over that and over that and over that. Here's 2 years passed by, 3 years passed by. You know, they doing good. You doing terrible because you're stuck in a rut of wondering what happened in that relationship. I'm going to be talking about that. But this is another way we waste time. People that we love, they leave our lives. And we get stuck in a stupor. We get stuck in a question in our head. Why, and why me? What happened, etc. Think about it. We as humans, and this is why we need to start moving in the realm of the spirit and start living in the realm of the supernatural. And this is why I am so much on mentorship. It is vital today, more than any time, because what social media has done is trick people to think all you need is a platform, and now you're an expert. And and even if you ain't on social media, just the technology today, we have so many false independent people, and God never made us to be independent people. But this new zombie mentality got everybody thinking we don't need nobody, and we could just be the lone ranger. And we got a lot of lonely people today. And if it wasn't for platforms like the one I'm on right now and other platforms, people have this private interpretation which is ungodly, that I need nobody, when God made man and said himself, it's not good for man to be alone. But there's so much individuality now. And I'm not saying you're not an individual. I'm saying everybody needs somebody. There's a reason why God made woman and man. God didn't make man. God made man and woman. Okay? We need each other. We need each other. There's supposed to be a connection, and not just a connection. There's supposed to be, see, because when you say connection, especially in relationships, first thing people think about is sex. Well, but what do you do after the come? What do you do after the climax? Where's the fellowship? We need fellowship. Are y'all hearing me? We need fellowship. Fellowship is vital. So after the connect, and here's what usually happens. After a connect, then we get into a disconnect. And we need fellowship. And I went deep into this word, fellowship. There's no fellowship if there's no following. There's no fellowship if there's no following. Which means all of us can't be in charge. And you might not want to be in charge anyway, because that's a lot of responsibility following. I mean, no, and it's a lot of responsibility, even more so leading, being the leader, being a head, being a supervisor, being a manager, being a director, being a pastor, being a husband, being a head. That's a lot of responsibility. So you might say, you know what? Is I could do better following somebody who knows. So there's no true fellow without a follow. In the medical field, medical science, they have what is called in people who practice osteopathic medicine, chiropractic medicine, preventative medicine, and even uh, general medicine. Okay, um, there's this term, fellow. Some of you might have heard that. Fellow. Okay, he's in the fellow group of chiropractors, or the fellow. I'm a fellow of the group of naturopaths, meaning they follow a particular set of rules together. They follow the director of that group, their protocols. Are you getting this? So you can have contact, but don't mean that you're following. Or you can have contact, doesn't mean that you're fellowshipping. And there's something real that's going on today behind the scenes in America. Bless you, Clayton. Hope all is well with you. That we need to begin to find our tribe. Um, we need to begin to find our people that we agree with. Okay, because you're not going to agree with everybody. You need to find your tribe. See, your destiny is based on who you believe. Your destiny is based on who you believe. Who you believe is who you follow. See, if you hire a trainer, hopefully that trainer is follow worthy. That trainer is going to tell you, do X amount of sets, X amount of reps, and we're going to work upper body today. And you follow this particular trainer because you believe that this trainer is the person to follow for whatever reason. They might be good. They might be an example of good health and body contouring, uh, body mechanics, and uh, know how to deal with mobility, flexibility, resistance training, aerobics. Maybe they're good in flexibility teaching, yoga. So you follow their instructions. So this is your fellowship in physical training. It's the same thing in marriage. There are a lot of people that are married, um, not connected. Then there's those that are married connected, but not in fellowship. It's the same thing with church. There are people who go to the church, but they disagree with some of everything. My thing is, why did you go there? Go where you will have fellowship. See, we think fellowship is because I showed up. No, fellowship is because you follow. You're following. And whether you go to church or not, I prefer that you find somewhere and go because we're going to all, God is going to definitely present the real church. The real church. I ain't talking about the fake church. I'm about God. God's about to present the real church, and you need to find your tribe. You need to find what is speaking to your spirit. What is bringing you edification? What is bringing you exhortation? What's bringing you comfort, so that you can be all that God wants you to be, so you can do all He wants you to do and have all that He wants you to have. So the whole point of everything I'm talking about right now, because it might seem I'm all over the place, in which I am, but it every road, highway, and path that I'm on right now is saying to you, you have an expiration date. You have an expiration date, and you and I cannot afford another moment of just wasting time in unfruitful dialogue and unfruitful conversations and unfruitful arguments, and being passive in uh it being entertained most of it. Now entertainment is great. There's a time where you go to the movies or you go to a show or you go ahead and sit with somebody that you love and admire and y'all watch a movie. Those are wonderful things, especially if you've done your purpose and you've walked in your calling and you moved in your anointing and you're being effective in life. I don't think you should be sitting down watching TV uh, and being want and lack and you ain't got no money to pay your rent. I think that's a fool. I think that's a fool to squander your time. And we squander our time. Be honest with yourself. We waste our time with a lot of stuff. We waste our time just thinking. We waste our time just talking. We waste our time eating. We some people eat all day long. Some people they just worry all day long. Some people they fuss and fight all day long. Others they argue all day long. Others complain all day long. And time is ticking tick, 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 until one day it doesn't tick anymore for you because life is as a vapor. I want you to really think. I want you to think of 5 areas in your life. And I'm telling you, if you do, you'll see what I'm saying. What's 5 areas in your life that you just waste? What's 5 areas in your life that you just waste? I could even give you categories and stuff, but I'm not going to do that. I really want you to contemplate. I want you to reflect. I want you to meditate because the Lord already, I can name a dozen right now. And this is why you need a mentor. Some of you probably never even thought where you are wasting life away. And I'm not talking about your existence. I'm talking about life. Jesus said, I come that you might have life and have it more abundantly. What are 5 categories, 5 areas of your life that you're just wasting? And we just waste it and waste it. And again, some of you are wasting it on worrying about something. You're worrying about some old relationship 10 years ago, and the person that you worrying about, what could it have been with if I would have been with them? What could it have been with if I would have married them? And meanwhile, they in a magnificent relationship, they in a great marriage, and here you still by yourself, and you can't even move forward because you're worrying about what you worrying about coulda, woulda, shoulda. Oh, what would have happened if? Yeah, but it didn't, and the clock is still ticking. What could have happened? This coulda, this shoulda, and I woulda. And we waste so much time. And if you be honest with yourself, most of your existence, most of your existence, you have already wasted. Most of your time. How you doing? You have already wasted. Just wasted, wasted, wasted. I want you before September 17th. I'd like for you to do this assignment to Dave. Because you know what? If you just be honest with yourself and sat down for 5 minutes, you'll already get the answers. You already got the answers. That if you put more attention to action, everybody write this down. ACT, if you would just get involved in the ACT, action is what changes things. Action changes things. Not thinking about it, not reflecting about it, not being contemplative, not even being meditative, because we do that good. See, that's what worry is. Worry is simply meditating on the words of the devil. That's all worry is. It's meditating on the words of the devil when you could do something about it instead of listening to those words over and over that ain't taking you nowhere. Uh, somebody type this. Type this in the chat. I challenge you. I dare you. Type this in the chat right now. Type in the chat that today I make up my mind to get off the treadmill of life. Now, I didn't say get off life, get off the treadmill of life. The treadmill of life is where you wasting time because it's just a treadmill. Because you're expending a lot of energy doesn't mean that you're going anywhere. Because there is an expenditure of energy doesn't mean that you're going anywhere. And a lot of you, because you have put in a lot of energy, you have tricked your mind as though you're going somewhere. And you're not going somewhere just because you're walking on the treadmill. See. Again, put on there. Today I make up my mind to get off the treadmill. I'm gonna get off the treadmill of life. I've been on that. Some of you've been treading, worry, treading, argument, treading worthless conversations that are meaningless because you haven't changed anything. And before the 17th of September, start making steps today. I am going to stop this bull crap, because that's what it is. It's just bull crap. Because you know it doesn't work. But it seems so painful to change when it's so healing to actually change. Okay? I want you to really be honest with yourself. You cannot correct until you confront. Folks, I've been preaching that. If I was pale or had a different type of complexion or so forth, I could say I have taught and preached that until I was blue in the face, if that was possible for me. And you'd be surprised how many people still don't get that simple thing. And yet we psych ourselves up as though I'm confronting, and we're doing more conforming to the old than really confronting. Because there's no way that you're confronting and you haven't changed fully. There's no way that you are confronting and you have not been fully persuaded for the change. All right. So we waste a lot of time in worry. We waste a lot of time in tradition. We waste a lot of time in what we practice. And because of those practices, it is actually adhered to us. And because we are really busy and we're really moving and we're even sweating, but we don't realize it's just effortless effort because we're on a treadmill. It's effortless effort because we ain't really going nowhere. But it seems like, ooh, I'm really working hard. I'm really working hard. But you ain't gone nowhere. You ain't gone nowhere. And then you do it again. You take a shower. You put on some clothes. And then the next day you do it again. You jump on the treadmill, but you are not going nowhere. You're going nowhere fast because something else is going to last. Your practice. Effortless effort. I'm going to say again, find yourself a mentor. And this is how you know you got the mentor. It's somebody that when they say something that you hate, you still want to do it. They, I hired 4 people in my life. 4 people in my life. See, some of y'all think, you get to a certain status of your life. I don't need nobody no more because I just did. That's just plain stupid. That's just dumb. That's just the dumbest thing ever. I think the more you go up, you need more people in your life that you hire to take you even higher and higher and higher. But we go, oh, I saved my first $1,000. Now I'm good. Or I saved my $10,000. Or I got my home, so I'm good. Oh, I'm married now. I got the wife, or I got the woman, so I don't need nothing else. And that's what y'all mess up at. You park at your last success and get stuck on the freaking treadmill and don't realize you are placed here to ascend, to achieve, and to advance, which means you never arrive. You keep pressing towards the mark. Well, we have the mark is arrival. And I've had people in my life and people in my ministry who they like, yeah, I'm the best thing since blue cheese that ever happened. And and it's like, I don't need nothing else. It's like, that's a fool. That's a fool. You're supposed to press towards the mark. And guess what? That's why the Bible says, "Mark the perfect man." It's when you here's one. There's now you go to another level, another level, another level, until you attain pure potentiality of Christ consciousness. And you should always be pressing towards the mark, always stretching. One one thing is good. One event was good. Do something better. One program was good. Now do something better. One project was good. Now project for better. Keep going. Don't settle. Don't get relaxed. Okay? Don't get relaxed because before you know it, there's an expiration date. There's a time the clock will stop ticking, and your life will be no more in this sphere, in this dimension, in this phase, in this stage, in this period, in this dispensation. It's done, it's over, completed, and gone. I want you to think, how am I wasting time? Where am I wasting time? Why am I wasting time? Is there some things I really don't want changed? One of my I have some mentors and I have some coaches as well. But one of my coaches said this: people really don't. This was somebody I just talked to. This person helped me out last week with some. People really don't want to change if they tell the truth. They say they do, but their actions are screaming that they don't. Now I've heard this in different ways and different versions, but when he said their actions is screaming that they don't, I was like, whoa, whoa. They say they do, but their actions are screaming that they really don't want to. Because if they did, if your finger was stuck in the door and you screaming, the most natural thing to do is pull it, even if it's hurting while you're screaming. You're doing, if it means you break the door, whatever, you're doing something to get your hand or your finger out of something that is really a pain point. And here's the other thing I learned: you ain't in that much pain yet. You ain't in that much pain yet. Some of you might have heard me talk about the story of the man. He's in the rocking chair, and his dog's tail keeps going back and forth, and it's hitting the rocking chair. And the man, when he rocks, it goes on the dog's tail, and the dog go, "Arr!" And the dog's there go, "Arr!" And he does it again, "Arr!" And there's a guy that passes by, and he says, "Why your dog keep hollering like that?" And he said, "Cause his tail is under my rocking chair, and this is where my rocking chair is always at." And the dog, he's like, "Well, doesn't it bother the dog?" Like, nah, he's not in enough pain yet. Because when he's in enough pain, he'll stop putting his tail under my freaking rocking chair. So I realize, um, when y'all say y'all want something, but your actions is screaming, you really don't want it. I know you ain't got enough pain yet. There's not enough pain yet, because when you have enough pain, then it's time to change. Now, here's the sad part: some people now wait until the pain has super intensified to the point that they're in super fatigue, chronic fatigue syndrome. Now they don't even have no energy now. They have no energy now. because to change because they allow so much wasted time to saturate their life that my dad did a message when you could, you wouldn't. Now you want to, and you can't. That's the sad part. And something's going to be taking place in this country. And there's some people, they're going to wake up. It's going to be too late that all the frogs will be in the pot now, and now the lid is on, and they're just going to be. Some of you understand about the frog in the water. If not, y'all go look it up. Uh, as long as the frogs are simmering in the water, they don't jump out. But when the pot is turned on and now it's boiling, uh, the frogs don't even need a top on the pot. They can't jump out because they're too weak now. They're too weak to jump out. Ara suradadabasha. I hope y'all got something out of this. I'm gonna go ahead and I did my walk. Now I'm gonna go to the gym and I'm dealing with my pain points. Don't be afraid to face your pain points while you got some energy, and stop wasting time and be honest with yourself. What am I wasting time in? Where am I wasting time in? Why am I wasting time? How am I wasting time? What are the 5 categories or 5 areas of your life where you actually, if you're honest with yourself, you gave yourself a report card of how are you mastering time? How are you capitalizing with time? How is purpose and time? Since your purpose only has time, how is your purpose and your time identical and pairing up? Y'all know how we have these electronics, cell phones and iPads and stuff, and you pair them up with a speaker that's wireless. Is your time and your purpose properly pairing? I'm gonna say it again. Is your time and your purpose properly pairing? I'll say it one more time. Is your time and your purpose properly being paired? I'm gonna say one more time. Thank you all for celebrating my dear wife and my dear mom on yesterday. I appreciate you all. But now that that event is over, there's an event that I really want you to look at, and that's this: the quality of life that you have left. How are you going to maximize it? How are you going to actually maximize your day God's way so that you can be what He wants you to be, do what He wants you to do, and have what He wants you to have? I want to send you a book. Oh, my son, if you watching this, when you watch this, my son, either Ephraim or Shema, remind me to get a book. One of my books I want to offer. You know what? Uh, Shutting the Door. That's a good book. I want to send that to some folks. I want to send that to folks, especially if you're new to my ministry and my teaching. I want to get acquainted with you. I want to send you a free copy. Just request Shutting the Door. Say, Bishop, send me that book, Shutting the Door, and I'll pay the postage, the handling, I take care of the cost of the book, everything. I want to send it to you. I am on a mission. I can't get everybody, but if I could get just a few faithful to be transformed by the renewing of their mind, let God be the head of their life. Uh, and they're not into selfishness, and they want to be a blessing to humanity. That's what I'm looking for. Enhance to make somebody's life just a little bit better. That's who I'm after. So if that's you, email me, bishop@bishopwomack.com. Say, please send me your book for free, and I'll do just that. I'll get out to you. Today is Sunday. I'll get out to you next week, okay? Probably Tuesday. I'm gonna take a little breather um, tomorrow. So I'll get out to you Tuesday, all right? Go to my email address, Bishop at bishopwomack.com. Shema, when you go back to this, once you put the email on the bottom, email me, bishop at bishopwomack.com. I will send you my book. I wish I had a copy so I could show you. And you can read that. You can read that book in one day. I do my best now because I give you a lot, but you don't need a lot. Sometimes you just need one key. I do my best to keep stuff condensed. That if I can get you to get one principle and activate it. Remember, ACT, action changes things. Sometimes you just need one action. You don't need a whole bunch of stuff. All right, folks, let me get to the gym. God bless you all. Email me, bishop at bishopwomack.com. I'll send you that book. And folks, make some comments. Make some comments. Make some comments. I'm going for 1 million subscribers. I think I'm over 650,000 subscribers. Help me to get to 1 million subscribers. And then from there, we're going to do our PAL network, our PAL uh, television and platform network. And I like to get every one of y'all involved. Some of y'all have talents. Some of you have products. Some of you have services. I'm going to open it up and let you come on the platform and you got to take advantage of what I'm saying though, and email me if you're interested. Email me, bishop at bishopwomack.com. Some of you deal with real estate. Some of you got a product or service. You just need a platform that'll get you out there. And my goal is to have 10 million people, listeners, hearers, watchers, and where I can help to because the blessing is really helping people. And we got it all wrong because the world programmed us to be selfish, y'all. Really programmed to be selfish. Um, so I want you to know that there is a platform and there's a channel that we're going to create that's going to give you exposure. It's going to give you exposure to your services and to your products. Okay? All right, people. God bless you. I'm Bishop Shema Womack-El. I see you going one place, up, 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 and over the top. Peace.